Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another video, and this time it's going to be about how I fixed my shrimpscape. So if you haven't watched my previous video where I show you how I messed it up in the first place, I highly recommend it that you go and watch the previous video so you understand what mistakes you have to avoid. But in case if you still go on to make those mistakes unknowingly, of course, so how to fix it, this video is about that. So the first thing to fix your mistake is understanding what the mistake you have made. So in my case, the substrate that I used was, I would say, faulty. It was not the same substrate that I have been using for all my scapes in the past. This time I switched to a different one, a slightly local and cheap kind of version, but it proved to be a huge mistake, and it fouled the water very badly, and it was not at all good for the fish. They were all gasping for air. The shrimps were very unhealthy. They got diseases later on, you'll see in this video. So what I actually did, I took down whole tank. I rescaped it one more time using only and only garden soil from my garden itself, and no compost this time and nothing else, just like the previous version of my shrimp tank, which had been running for, I would say, 9 months approximately, or 10 months. So it was running on just garden soil. There was no compost in it previously. It was just running on garden soil, and it lasted for 9 to 10 months, and the plants were blooming. Literally the floaters were everywhere. I had to take them out every now and then. So this time I did the same thing. I only used garden soil, and but still I am facing some issues right now, but they are not as serious as the previous ones. So what happened in the last time was a huge thing, a big thing that would literally harm the whole ecosystem. So that is why I had to take down the whole tank, and after I did that, I rescaped the tank, but still I faced many issues, including my shrimps got the vorticella disease. I think it's a parasite that attaches over the shrimps body parts, mostly on its head, its mouth, and the tentacles in front. So all my shrimps got infected, and I was literally scared to death. I thought I'm going to lose all my shrimps, but fortunately I was able to save them all. And yeah, I'm still facing the issue of algae. For the first time in my aquascaping hobby since 2.5 years now, I have first time encountered black brush algae. Some people might call it black beard algae. I don't know what actual name is, but I encountered it, and I'm trying to deal with it. I'm not seeing any more growth of that algae. I would say 90% I've taken care of it, but still 10% remains here and there, and I see it rarely, and then I take it off. But most of the algae that I see in my tank right now is green algae, green hair algae, and there's some filament algae as well. But that can be because I have switched from a 9-watt bulb to a 15-watt bulb, I think, just to see how it would affect the growth of the plants. But I'm getting algae now, so I think I might switch back to the 9-watt bulb just to make sure the algae growth is under control so that shrimps can devour it. But I think even now the algae is growing, and it would be a nice feast for the shrimps. So let's see how this goes. So in the video you'll see what things I did in order to rescape the tank, and how I dealt with the vorticella parasite in the shrimps, and how the tank is looking right now. And by the way, this tank has been running for 2 weeks now, I think more than 2 weeks. In the when I was shooting the last video, the previous video explaining about how I messed up the tank, the scaping process of this tank was already complete, and it was running for 5 to 6 days. So right now it's totally stable. The shrimps are in, the fish is in, even I put some driftwood, and you will see in the video how I made that driftwood. In the previous scape, the drift was also a big problem. It was a mango tree wood which was not suitable, which was not properly treated. It was a mistake from my side. So in this video you'll see what driftwood I'm using this time. So let's get into it. Later I started to add the hardscape, and these are the rocks that were previously used in this tank. So I just thought of getting into planting really quick because I was growing really impatient. As for my last efforts, the previous scape turned out so bad. I just wanted to get rid of it all. I just wanted to get it out of my mind. I wanted to see a tank in which my shrimps were happy. And I was growing impatient, and I started to directly plant the cuttings, the trimmings into the tank, and I did not follow any rules as like foreground, background, midground. I was just placing the plants totally randomly. Okay. Like you'll see, I am placing the kabomba in foreground. Like, I know some people will mock me in the comments, but yeah, you're welcome. Even I'm putting Limnophila sessiliflora in the foreground. Okay, this is not a joke. I'm really doing this, and you'll see in further in the video that this really looks good. I don't know why. Maybe some people will not find it that appealing, but I think it looks good. You'll see further in the video, so stick till the end of the video to see how this really looks. So I also added some floating plants and some snails in there. I wanted to get the cycling process, the bioload of the tank as soon as possible, so I added some snails in there. Now I'll prepare for my shrimps to get drip acclimated. I'm going to put in airline tubing in there and suck up some water and start to drip it inside the container where my shrimps are. Yeah, so that I'm going to do after the water is clear. So this is after 48 hours actually, and the water is crystal clear because I put a hang on back filter from my 2 feet tank, which should kick start the process of beneficial bacteria to colonize in the tank. And I'm pretty sure that's already started in here after 28 hours. And I also started drip acclimating my shrimps with this clean water. All the shrimps and all my neon tetras in a glass, and I added them into the tank. So thought everything was very well, everything was going great. I succeeded in fixing the mistakes, but I was wrong. So you'll see why I'm saying this. The problem was not with the tank, the problem was with the previous mistakes itself. Okay, so first water change of 30% is done, and the shrimps look happy, the tank looks clean, fish look happy, there are snails breeding, everything looks fine. But I noticed the issue. I had to take out the hardscape, the gravels and everything. Why? Because I even took out my shrimps. As you can see, we have a sus person in the tank, and that is black beard algae. So this type of algae is really nasty, because you cannot get rid of it very easily. But I found it out in the early stages. It has not spread anywhere else, so I'm just going to throw out those trimming of the plant, and I'm going to treat the hardscape with hydrogen peroxide, so hoping it will go away. Some places where the blackbeard algae can be seen. And my shrimps have been attacked by the Vorticella parasite. As you can see, it's growing on the faces and front bodies of my shrimps. It's on the tentacles and their mouths, near their eyes. So I was really scared. I didn't know what to do, but I did some research and found out that it can be treated with rock salt. So I isolated my shrimps and I kept them. I drip acclimated a solution of 1 tablespoon of rock salt to half liter of water. So I drip acclimated the solution into the container, which would I hope help in making the shrimps feel better and get rid of the Vorticella parasite. This wood is of the plant called as Bohemia. I'll put up the name and the photo up on the screen so you can identify it. And yeah, it's hardwood. It's okay for shrimp. It's okay for shrimps, it's okay for snails, it's okay for the fish, so it's totally safe. So I'm going to put up some moss. Before putting up the moss, I'm going to clean the driftwood. I removed the bark. I treated them in the sun for drying for about 2 weeks. It was already dry when I took it out from the plant, so I'm just going to use a little bit of thread to tie the moss on the wood. After that is done, I'm going to use different small pieces of this wood to make a bigger and desirable shape of the driftwood. After about, I would say, 4 to 6 days, all the shrimps were looking healthy and the Vorticella parasite was totally gone. The shrimps were not only looking healthy, but they had given birth to a lot of babies. And if they are giving birth to babies, if they are breeding, which means they are having fun, they are good. So I put them back into the tank. After I put them back in the tank, everything looks fine. The driftwood, as you can see, is looking nice, according to me at least. So yeah, I use different pieces of driftwood to join them together to achieve this shape. So yeah, the tank is stable now. It's been 2 weeks. It's been running for 2 weeks without a filter, and it looks really stable. The fish are having a good time, and I did not see any signs of stress or any signs of spikes of ammonia or any other issues. But please let me know what your thoughts are about this scape in the comments below. All your suggestions are welcome, and I would be glad to reply my thoughts on what your suggestions are. as you saw in the video, I did some major changes, and the driftwood that I'm currently using is made up of the plant that I'll put up the name of the plant in the screen so you'll get an idea of what that plant is. It's a shrub. It grows here in my locality, and it's a hardwood, but it was already infected with termites, and it's not a big issue because termites don't do any chemical changes to your wood. They just eat away on it, and you can just scrape off the loose material on the wood. So I did exactly that. I used one of it, and the other driftwood that does not appear to be infected by the termites is from the same plant, and I don't see any issues with it till now. It's been 2 weeks. It's been more than 2 weeks. I think it's 18th day of this tank, and it's been running really well. So it's not a big issue right now, at least as compared to the previous driftwood, which was I don't know how to say it, but it was really scary, because I really love my shrimps. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to suffer. I just want them to see happy, nobbling around, gobbling around, eating that algae, and just having fun inside the scape. So it was really scary experience back then, but right now I think it's really good. And the other thing why I'm saying that this scape is stable right now and it's better than the previous one is there is an explosion of the snail population. So trust me, when snails and shrimps they breed, it's really nice environment for them. So right now I am fed up of taking out the baby snails and taking out the eggs they lay on the side of this glass. So I don't know what to do with them. I just euthanize them by putting them on a dry surface. I don't know what to do with them because there is just too many. This size of tank cannot handle that many snails. Even the shrimps are breeding. I just saw at least 6 to 7 shrimp babies this morning. So I haven't put up any clip of them in the video, but I still saw them. Maybe in future videos you'll see those baby shrimps. And yes, they got their colors back. They got rid of the vorticella parasite. Even if there is some left in, I would say it would go away on its own, because it happened in the past and it went away on its own. I did not do anything. But what will happen this time, let's see. I'm not very sure about it. So yeah, that's it. And if you have any ideas about how I could do better, or how what changes I should do, if you have any recommendations for me, please put them down in the comments. I would be really glad to read them all. And if you have any questions as to any particular thing about what I did, also please put them in the comments. I most of the time reply to any viewer. I reply with very honest answers. I don't keep any secrets, so maybe I'll try to answer everybody's comments. So please put down your thoughts, your I would say please put down your thoughts, please put down your suggestions, please put down your recommendations down in the comments below. And if you think all of my efforts and hard work was worth it, if you like this video, if you like this scape, please do subscribe to the channel and like this video and share it with your aquascaping community or your friends that love aquascaping, so they could see more of it. And that's all for this video. See you in another one. Bye bye, take care.